Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go over our homework from page 303, numbers 1 through 9. So make sure that you get there immediately if you're not already there. A few seconds. All right. Yesterday we talked about and we practiced adding and subtracting mixed numbers. And the big thing with them was, just like with the other fractions, we need to have the same denominator in order to make this work. And we need to make sure that we have, if we're subtracting, that we have a larger fraction here than on this side. And if we don't, we need to either borrow some fraction pieces, or we can just go ahead and change them to improper fractions. And really, you don't have to mess with mixed numbers. You can change them immediately to improper fractions. And if you simplify properly, you're going to get the same answer. So whatever style you want to use is fine. All right, in this case, we already have ninths. So you do not have to do anything special, and we're adding. So 7 plus 2 is 9, and then I have 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 ninths, 5 is prime. Our answer is 9 and 5 ninths. Number 2, now in here there's not really a lot of ways to show your work, but over here we could definitely show our work now because we do not have the same denominator. We need to get a common multiple, and since 4 is a factor of 12, then we know that 12 is a multiple of 4. So we can make 12s. We can stay with 8 and 5 12s plus 11, and then 4 times 3 is 12. So make sure you do that to the top and the bottom of your fraction, and we get 3 12s. And since we're adding, it's okay that the one on the right is bigger than the one on the left. 8 plus 11 is 19, and 8 12s. That is going to go by 2, reduce to 19, and 4 thirds, 6. And then go by 2 again. 19 and 1. Oh my goodness, 2 thirds. Or you could have just divided by 4 to start. I'm listening to Gracie in the background. If you hear some stuff, she's playing on an app where she's spelling words and things like that. So, all right, 19 and 2 thirds. On to this next one here. We have 10 and 4 fifths, and we have 2 and 1 fifth. These are fifths, which is great. 10 is bigger than 2, which is great. We don't have to worry about negatives. 4 fifths is bigger than 1 fifth. Super great. So we can do 10 minus 2 is 8. 4 minus 1 is 3. 8 and 3 fifths. Nothing complex there. It's a very simple problem. Okay. Now, let's head down to this one. We first need a common denominator. So I know that 5 can become tenths, so let's change that. 9 times by 2. And I have 8 tenths minus 2 and 3 tenths. And now, again, I have a nice simple one. 9 minus 2 is 7. 8 minus 3 is 5. I could divide by 5 and get 7 and 1/2 for number 4. All right, going on to number 5. Not so much. 4 and 3. If I make my little m here, because I don't know that 12 is the common multiple, I will find that 12 is the common multiple between 4 and 3. So to get 12, we're actually multiplying them by each other. So I have 11. 3 times 3 is 9 twelfths minus 4. 1 times 4 is 4 twelfths. Again, nice and simple. 11 minus 4 is 7. 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 is prime. So it's as small as we go. 7 and 5 twelfths. I'm waiting for them to get complicated here. Do they get more complicated? I bet they do. All right. 9 and a fifth. And 2 and 3 fifths. Dun, dun, dun. 1 fifth here. We can't take 3 fifths away. So we're either going to have to borrow from that 9, make it an 8, and add 5 fifths, or let's go ahead and change these to improper fractions. Remember, on your foldable, if you forget, we have improper fractions to mixed numbers and mixed numbers to improper fractions, and it will tell you exactly what to do. You can read and multiply numerator times the whole number, add that 5, or write it out like that, and you get 47 as your numerator out of 6. So in this case, we are going to multiply 9 times 5, which is 45, plus 1, which is 46. It's okay to have a big honking number on the top, no biggie. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13. And now we can go ahead and subtract those. So 46 minus 13, 6 minus 3 is 3, 4 minus 1 is 3, 33 fifths. Haha. But now I have an improper fraction and I need to change that back. Again, if you can't remember, it is here. I'm hoping that many of you have gone home and you have been practicing changing your mixed numbers to improper fractions and vice versa. When we change an improper fraction to a mixed number, we divide, and our quotient is our whole number because that's how many groups of 5 fit into 22. And then our remainder is our numerator, and then we keep the same denominator. So we're going to take 33 divided by 5. I know that 5 times 7 is 35. That's too big. So 5 times 6 is 30, and that leaves me with 3 little fifths left over. So I've got 6 and 3 fifths. Those are both prime, so I'm good to go. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. That was number 6. Move to number 7. All right, 5 and 3, if you can't see right off what these are, $15 is going to be the least common multiple, which happens to be multiplying by each other. So 5 times 3 and 3 times 3, that gives me 6 because the whole number stays the same. 3 times 3 is 9 in my numerator and 15 in my denominator. Then I have times 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, minus 5 15ths. Oh, that's supposed to be a 1 in there. So sorry. 6 minus 1 is 5. That's great. 9 minus 5 is 4 15ths. And 15 is not divisible by 4 or 2. So 4 15ths should be our answer here. For some reason, I've got, oh, I was looking at the answer over here. I'm like, why is this so ridiculous? Here's why it's ridiculous. What am I even doing with my life right here? No, well, let me check myself. Let me see. The answer in my book over here is showing me 4 and 14 15ths. So I'm thinking I did something funky. Let me see. 5 times 6 is 30. Oh, wait, I'm changing these. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. So I have 6 and 9 15ths minus 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 15ths. 1 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. I feel like it's 5 and 4 15ths. Maybe you got something different than me. I don't know. You might need to pause it and work it out yourselves if you guys got 4 and 14 15ths. I'm not sure, but that's what I get. Sorry, I'm still thinking. Ah ha ha, I found my error. Right here, I started to change it to an improper fraction. And right here, I did the right thing. So this should be, sorry, 6 and 9 15ths. That was right because I did 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. And then over here, I kind of did something funky. So I need to change this into 15. So 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm going to keep my 1. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10. Ah ha ha. Okay. Now that's where I had that problem. This was wrong. Now this is okay because 6 minus 1 is 5. But look, I only have 9 here and I have a 10 here. Ah, so I need some more fifths over here. 15th. So I'm going to have to change this into an improper fraction. So 6 times 15 is 90 plus 9 would give us 99 15ths minus 15 times 1 is 15 plus 10 is 25 15ths. Kind of a little more work when you're doing it this way. But I get 84 15ths. And then I have to change it back from here into a mixed number. I can already feel you getting antsy. So let's see, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, probably as many as I can go. 5. Gives me 9. So that should be 5, and 9/15. I still end up with 5 and 9/15. Something a little bit different than what they had before. So, I feel like I've spent enough time on this one. I might have to go back to the drawing board. All right. Here we go. 14 and 1/6 minus 7 and 1/3. We'll talk about that one. I'll look at it again. We'll talk about it. I spent enough time on it. No one. I'm already losing you, I'm sure. Okie dokie. This one, the common denominator is 6. So I've got 14 and 1/6 can stay the same minus, let's times that by 2. I get 7 and 2/6. Okay. But I don't have enough 6 here. So I'm going to kind of do it the borrowing way because I don't want to be all crazy. So here's 13. And then I have 6, 6 plus 1 makes 7, 6. So 13 minus 7 is 6. 7 minus 2 is 5. So 6 and 5, 6. You can also get that same answer if you did 6 times 14 plus 7 over 6. And then 7 times 6 plus 2 over 6. And then you would reduce it down. So you should get 6 and 5, 6 as well. All right, over here, 8 is actually the fraction 8 over 1. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change this to an improper fraction because it just makes sense here. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11/3. So I have 8 ones and minus 11, 11/3. So I need to change these to thirds. So times by 3, 24/3 minus 11/3 equals 13/3. I'm going to make sure that I do 13 divided by 3, which is 4, 12 with 1 left over. My answer is 4 and 1/3. All right, folks, we'll have to talk about 7 another time. I'll take another look at it and we'll see. Okay, here's what we're going to do next. You are going to get from your lovely substitute a BossSecretary page. Let me tell you how this is going to work. Yeah, part of it says skill check 4.1 review. There were a couple reviews, so I took one of them and made it into BossSecretary. This is going to be like a full-on, full class, I have who has BossSecretary. So everybody's page, they are going to be the secretary on their page. So if this is my page, I am doing all the writing on this page because I'm going to go find somebody. So say I'm like, oh, Gracie, hey, Gracie, can you tell me how to do this problem? You be the boss. And here's my pen. And she says, yeah, 12 and 12 are the same. So you don't need to do anything. So 9 minus 5 is 4. So you write down 4 over 12. And now you have to reduce. So you can divide by 4 on the top and the bottom. So then you get 1/3. And the answer is 1/3. And then Gracie, she takes her pencil, excuse me, and she signs over here. However she's going to sign it, okay? So this person's signature tells me that they were the boss in this problem. And then your writing up here tells me that you were the secretary and they told you what to do. If this person signs their name, if you sign your name, that means that you promised that you did tell them what to do and they wrote it. So none of this cheating where you do all your paperwork and just go see and you can find a lot of dishonest people to sign for you. Only sign your name to a paper if you legitimately told them step by step what to write. Okay? And look, there are a bunch of problems. And so you're going to get the rest of class to work on this. And what you're going to do is you're going to go around and say, hey, will you tell me how to do this problem? And they'll say, sure. And then they'll tell you, okay, 7 sevens, tenths. If you have tenths, it's 14. You have to divide 14 by 10. It goes in one time with 4 left over. So your answer is 1 4/10, which reduces to 1 2/5. Just did 2 for you. And then Mrs. Blake signs because she was your boss on that one. So I just finished 2. You have 2 sides. 22 boxes left. So what you're going to do in those 22 boxes is try to get as many of these completed correctly. Remember, you're the secretary. So if your boss is telling you to do something wrong, you're going to say, oh, I don't know about that, boss. Are you sure? So you guys can kind of have a discussion before you get that down, because here's what's going to happen. This is your paper. You're the secretary, so your boss. You have to make your boss look good. If your boss is talking to you and telling you what to do and they're telling you correctly and you're doing it step by step and they sign their name to it, the substitute is going to collect these right before the end of class. And I am going to give out 5 tasty treats to the 5 people who have the most correct answers on this page. Okay? If everyone gets them all correct and is able to get them all finished and done, I'll give treats to everybody. I don't discriminate against treats. I'm good on that. Take your time. Make sure that you work with your boss and your secretary, and don't bother the people. If people are working together, they're working together. Don't sit and wait on them or bother them. You put your hand up, make eye contact with someone who does not have a partner, who you do not have on here yet. Only one time. How many times can you be a boss to somebody? Once. You can only sign your name once. So see, I cannot do this page because I've already done Mrs. Blake. So if you're going around and someone asks you, hey, do this, make sure that you look through and say, oh, I can't, I already did that one, remember? Oh yeah, dang it. So you should be making contact with almost everyone in class to get this done. Now, the substitute's going to collect this from you with a couple of minutes left in class, 5 minutes maybe. So get as many as you can get done until 5 minutes at the end of class, and then they are going to give you this skill check review. This is your homework. It is really, honestly, 11 problems, and some of them are just how would you solve them. You're not even actually solving them, okay? So you're going to do these tonight so that we can go over them tomorrow and continue our review tomorrow so that you can test on, what would that be? Thursday? On Thursday. Okay? All right. Have a blast.